and I'ma do my thing. Anywhere I go on any given day, it's just me, and I'ma do my thing. Life a big game, and I just wanna play, it's just me, and I'ma do my thing.
Hey, my creators. Today, I'm showing you how to make fun clip art bundles using Midjourney, and then how to edit, style, and package them perfectly in Canva so they're ready to sell on Etsy. If you want cute designs that bring in consistent digital income, this is for you. Are you ready? Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, creators. So I am on midjourney.com and you can sign up for an account. I do have the paid version. I think right now I have just like the $10 version. You know, you get less images, less time, but you get a lot of images for $10 a month. But you can choose between, I think it's 10, 30, and 60. You can look that up on your own time, what the differences are. But I want to show you how you can use Midjourney and images that are already there to create similar images. And this helps because sometimes people don't know how to write prompts, and I'm not an expert at prompts, but I get along okay. And one of the reasons that I get along okay in doing it is because I have actually used the prompts that are already provided by other users. You know, it's like, why, ruin something that's already there? So on the home page, I clicked on Explorer and I just typed in the phrase cute, quirky girl vector. And these are some of the ones that came up. I've already kind of scrolled down the page, but I like these. So you just kind of find one that you like, find anyone that you like or you think that you would like to sell some bundles of, and it can be different ones depending on how many you want to sell. So I like this one right here. So I'm actually going to click on this. And when I click on it, I get the prompt right here. So if you look at the bottom, well, first of all, when you hover over the prompt, it says use text. So you have the option of using the text, but I prefer to use the image, the style, and the prompt. Okay. Now you can change it to whatever size that you want, 3:3, 2:3, but I'll just leave it as this. Now, one of the things that you can do is to click on these three dotted kind of bar lines, and you can change the variety. You can make it where your images come back all looking almost identical, or you can add a little bit of variety in it. So right now, because we're doing a tutorial, I'm going to choose fast. Um, you do have, there's a difference in how many fast hours you receive depending on the plan that you're on. So I don't have as many fast hours, but I'm going to use it for this tutorial. So once you go in there and change that, and those are the main things that I change. The stylization, I kind of leave it where it is. And the weirdness, I don't want it to be too weird, so I just leave it right there. All right. So once I'm done, I just click this submit button and it's going to start giving me some options or some images. And if you look on the right hand side, it'll tell you that it's creating some images. So we're going to check out those images in a moment. All right, so you can see here that Midjourney has given me 4 images, and they're all cute, but they're not all quirky. I like the first one, so I could either just kind of build on this one, or I can actually rerun the prompt again. But what I'm going to do, if I rerun the prompt again, I'm not able to change the variation option. So I'm going to actually click on use text when I hover over the prompt. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go in here and change the variety. So I'm going to lessen the variety some and see what happens with that. So let's hit submit, and then we'll see what it comes back with. All right, so this is the second run of that prompt. And I'm going to make this a little larger so you can see it maybe a little better. Okay, so this came back with some more quirky images, and these are cute. You can see they're a little more aligned to this one, but I really like this one right here, right? This particular one, I really, really like her. So I clicked on her, as you can see, and I am going to actually kind of build upon her. So I'm going to click on, um, we're going to vary this. Actually, I'm going to remix it a little. And I'm going to say strong. And when I do that, I am able to change the prompt a little bit. So instead of her drinking a cup of coffee, I can say she is dancing and having fun. Okay, and then I'm going to submit it, and we're going to see what Midjourney is going to come back with for us. All right, so Midjourney has come back, and it did create two of them like they're dancing, the first one and the second one. The third one just has her hands in her pocket. The fourth one still has her cup of coffee in her hand. But that is how you can kind of keep the same type of character and just make her, uh, to be doing something a little different. So if you were creating a bundle for Etsy that you would sell, let's say you were making 8 or 12 images, you would probably include these four, this one, and you might have to recreate it one more time to get 3 more images if you were doing 12, because these three on the bottom right, they don't really coincide with these other ones, a little different. So it just depends on what you want to sell. The other thing I would caution you about is make sure you open up each image and look carefully. Midjourney is getting better, but sometimes you will see that they have like 3 legs or 6 fingers on one hand or something like that. So you just want to make sure that everything is kind of intact. This one looks good. And even though the fingers are a little kind of, they're not quite completely well defined, there are 5 fingers, and it's just kind of a, like a little cartoony kind of look. So it's okay. So now, my creators, I want to show you how you can take your creations from Midjourney and edit them in Canva. Canva plays a really big role in helping you to package and display your images. So let's jump over into Canva. All right, my creators, so we're on Canva, and I just went to create a design on the front page. I made sure that the units is in inches, and I'm going to create a 2 by 3 inch workspace. And I'm doing that because the images that we created in Midjourney were, if you remember, the dimensions were 2 to 3. So we're just going to create a new design, and we are going to start uploading the images that we downloaded from Midjourney. All right, my creators. So here is our 2 to 3 workspace size, and I've uploaded the 6 images that I downloaded. And again, you would download as many images as you need or want, whatever you plan on selling or using. And when you get over to Canva, if you don't know, for any of you who are new to Canva, you would click on these 3 dots right here, and then you would just choose upload files right here. Okay. And when you upload the files, it'll come from, you choose where they come from, but it'll open up your your computer window so that you can see your files and you upload them. All right, so since I have my 6 images here, I am now going to click on the first image. Now, what I want you to keep in mind is that when you download from Midjourney, even if you've asked Midjourney to give you a white background or a clear background, it is still a background and it's a color to that background. And if you don't believe me, if we click on the Canva workspace here and I change it from white to another color, you will see that this image has a white background behind it. So I want to now remove this background image. So I'm going to click on BG Remover, and this is a pro feature. So you do need Canva Pro in order to remove the background. Let me Okay, there it is. So it has removed the background. So now that it's done that, I can actually either change my image back to white, but I like to have some kind of color on there. And because pink is just so bright that it's hurting my eyes, I change it to gray. And the reason I do that is because when we download this, we're going to tell Canva we want to download it with a transparent background, and it will not download this gray here. I just do that to remind myself to remove the background from the image that I uploaded, because sometimes if you don't change the background, you'll forget that this image has an actual white background. Okay, so now we're just going to duplicate the page and we are going to go back over to our uploaded images, and we're just going to repeat the same process for the 6 images. You just click on the image, it's going to pop onto your page. Click on BG Remover for each of those, and it's going to remove the background. So just repeat that process. All right, so now that we have um, removed the background from all 6 images, it's now time to download your images, okay? And we're going to go over to the share button on the top right-hand corner, click on share, and we're going to choose download. And I want you to notice something. There are crowns by here. So to download these files with these parameters, you do have to have a pro subscription. So that is very important. So that's one reason that you want to go ahead and try to get a pro subscription. Right now, I don't have an affiliate link for Canva, so you can't get it from me, but you can just go over to Canva and choose a pro subscription. When I do have an affiliate link, I will gladly let you know, and I'd appreciate any support. But in the meantime, you would just click on transparent background, and right here where it says size, we want to increase the size to 3. When we do that, that will ensure that there is a 300 dpi resolution, okay? And we want to download for a bundle, you want to download all 6 images. So I'm just going to keep it on pages 1 through 6. So you can either download as a PNG or a PDF, but a PDF will not have a background removed on it. It would just be like if you wanted to sell it and use it as like maybe wall art or something. But do keep in mind, if you download it as a PDF, it's going to have whatever color background you chose, and we chose gray. But because we're downloading it as PNG and a transparent background, they will all download without a background. So when I click on download, Canva will show you on the bottom on the right that it is starting to download. All right, my creators. So I went a little step extra because I want to show you how you would bundle your files for Etsy and how you would set up your listing images or files as well. So I went back over to Canva and I created a new design. I chose pixels and 3000 by 3000. This currently is the best size for Etsy. 3000 by 3000 they say will fit across all devices. Now, sometimes Etsy will kind of truncate your photos a little bit, so you might not want to put your, all of your information all the way to the edge, and maybe kind of, leave the edges kind of blank. So in case it cuts it off a little bit, you are still able to show your customers all of the image. Okay. So I'm just going to create this new design, and we're going to have this perfectly square workspace. All right, my creators. So here's our perfectly square workspace at 3000 by 3000 pixels. And this is going to end up being our PDF file that we're going to upload to Etsy for your customers to be able to receive their images. But I think I should have showed you something else first, but that's okay. First, we're just going to go ahead and create this. This is a file that you would upload and give to your customers. So what we're going to do, we want to create maybe a logo. You want to put like a little logo or something on here. So I'm just going to type a T in here. And since this is called the Joy Art Club, I'm going to type that in here. And I'm going to, well, actually, you know what? Here's my logo right there. So I put that in there. There's my logo. Put that there. Maybe I will move this over a little, and let's make this a script font, something cute. Maybe that. All right, and maybe the background, I want to make it kind of cute. So let me go over to, let's see. Let me go over to, let's see what's on background itself. Okay, so let's choose something soft. Okay, so, oh no, that's a wedding photo, isn't it? Okay, so let's just choose something else. What can we choose? Okay, I chose this pink image here, and I'm gonna kind of change the transparency on it a little. Oh no, I think I'll keep it like that. If I do that, it gets too dark. So let's keep the transparency at 100. All right, and so now I'm just gonna start putting on here some information. I'm going to type a T again for text. I want to change this to just a plain font. Canva Sans is fine. Actually, let's do Play Fair Display. Okay, and I want to say here is the link for your files, which you can download from Google Drive. All right, let's make this a little smaller. Okay, then we're going to pull this up here. I'll say below is the link. Okay, below is the link. First thing we want to do is go over to the Elements tab and type in thank you, because we want to put some kind of little thank you script up there, a little thank you icon. So you can choose whichever one you want. No, I don't like that. It's too thick. There was one that I really liked, but I'll just use this one. You can change the color on this one. So let's change this to pink, bright pink. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now, since we said below is a link for your files, which you can download from Google. No, let's say click the icon below for your files. All right, and now we got to find some kind of little icon so we can say download. Maybe we'll put a download button or something. Okay, so this is download, and let's make this pink as well. Or let's make this blue. Okay, there we go. And let's make this background pink. All right, so now on this link right here, this is where we're going to link to your Google Drive, okay? So if you have Google Drive, you're going to upload your files into Google Drive. And when you're in Google Drive, you're going to share that link, and you're going to copy that link and put it here. And I'll show you in a moment. But let's go back over to the uploads, and let's just take some of the images. Where's my uploads? Let's just take some of the images, or at least one, and put it on here so that the customer knows which file they are getting. Okay. So that's going to be our main image. Okay. And then let's duplicate this, and we can type some text in here. You can tell them how they can use the files. You know, if you're selling them as PLR or whatever, you can type in whatever information you want your customers to know or have. Okay, so there we are. Now, let me take you over to Google Drive, which is free, by the way. All right, my creators. So I am logged into Google. As you can see, my little icon there on the right-hand side. And what you're going to do, where you see these dots, you're going to click on these dots, and you're going to go down to the Google Drive, which is right here. And then you're going to open that. You're going to click on that, open it up, and you'll get your Google Drive files. So now that I'm inside of my Google Drive, I am going to click on new, and I'm going to choose a new folder. And I forgot to name the files that we created in Canva, but I'm going to just call them Quirky Girls. Okay. And I'm just going to say test, because I know that I'm not going to keep this folder. So this is just so that I know to delete it. But you want to create a name for a folder that you know that you're going to keep, and you're going to give this folder to your customers. Okay. So now I want to create the folder. And once I do that, I now have a folder right here called Quirky Girls Test. It's kind of highlighted in blue. So now I'm going to open that by double clicking on it, and I'm going to say new file upload. And here is where you will start uploading your files into your into this new folder. So now that I'm inside of my Google Drive, I am going to click on new, and I'm going to choose a new folder. And I forgot to name the files that we created in Canva, but I'm going to just call them Quirky Girls. Okay. And I'm just going to say test, because I know that I'm not going to keep this folder. So this is just so that I know to delete it. But you want to create a name for a folder that you know that you're going to keep, and you're going to give this folder to your customers. Okay. So now I want to create the folder. And once I do that, I now have a folder right here called Quirky Girls Test. It's kind of highlighted in blue. So now I'm going to open that by double clicking on it, and I'm going to say new file upload. And here is where you will start uploading your files into your into this new folder. So now you can see that the drive has uploaded my 6 images with no background. Okay. And now all I have to do is share the link. And this is the link that we're going to take back over to Canva and put into our file that we were creating for a PDF. So I'm going to click on this arrow right here where it says Quirky Girls Test. Click on that arrow. I'm going to choose share. I'm going to click on share here. And now I am going to tell it that I want it to be for anyone with the link. And then I'm going to copy the link. Once you click copy the link, you're going to press done. Make sure, my creators, that when you choose anyone with the link, you choose the option of viewer on the right side there, because that way you don't want anyone else to be able to edit your file itself. Like they can download the file and they can upload it into Canva or something, but you don't want them to be able to edit your file within the drive. Okay, so make sure you choose viewer so that you remain the owner. So now that we've copied our link from the Google Drive, we're back over on Canva. And remember, this is what we're going to download as a PDF and upload it to Etsy so that your customers can receive their files. So we're going to click on this download button. And I actually had already pasted the link in here to test it to make sure that it worked. But you would just click on the three arrows. You would choose, it wouldn't say edit link, it would just say link. It says edit because it's already a link in here. But you would just right click and paste your link right in there, and your link would appear here. And then if you click on this link, it will go back over to your folder. And you do want to check that to test it to make sure that it is correct before you download this file. So the next thing you would do is click on share. I forgot. One thing you want to make sure you also do, always put a link to back to you on here, right? So let's just duplicate this right here, and let's type in here, visit us soon, by clicking here. Okay, and you could actually, put another little icon here, whatever you want to do, but just put your link here as well. So we go here, we go to link, and we would paste whatever that link is. Right now, we'll just put www.google.com. Okay, so that will go back to what actually should be your store name or something. This text doesn't have to be so large. And you could also choose a cute little icon, like I mentioned before, right? So you go over to elements, you could choose some little icon or your logo or whatever. Just make sure you have a link back to yourself, okay? So now you're going to click on share, and you would download this, but you would download this as a PDF standard, not a print, just a PDF standard. And never flatten the PDF if you have links on here, because if you flatten the PDF, your customers will not have that link or any links on here available to them. So you just want to choose PDF standard, and you want to download. And this is the file that you're going to upload to Etsy for your customers. Okay, I did not forget. I told you that I would show you how you could actually make different images with your images that you created in Midjourney. So I'm just going to add a page here, and I'm going to remove this by clicking delete or the trash bin. And I'm just going to click on one of the images. And this is the one with the background that has already been removed. And if we change the background color here, you can tell that the image background has been removed. Okay, so I'm just going to make it gray again so I can be sure that my image is a clear, transparent background. Okay, so here's our little lady, and maybe you want to add, some, I don't know, some text or something. Just, I don't know, loving life as I am. All right, so maybe we want to make it a little bigger. You might want to change the font or something. You know what? I'm going to just remove this gray right now because it's throwing me off. Okay, so let's change this font to something that, something else. I think I'll leave it as this Playfair display. Okay, and I think I will actually do some effect on it. I'll do an outline. Let me change the outline to maybe black, and let me do the internal color as like a blue. Cute. All right, and let us change the spacing a little. There we go. All right, so now maybe I want to put something in the back, or you know what? Maybe I want to do this, and let's change the effects and let's curve it. Okay, so we got it curved a little bit. Let's change the curve from 76. Let's make it a little wider, maybe 54. Okay, now we're going to make her a little smaller. And then maybe I want to put some background on it. So I'm going to go to Elements. Let's click on Elements. Where are we? And let's choose pink watercolor. All right, so let's click on See All. And remember, anything with a crown requires you to have a pro subscription plan, okay? Let's make it more like a peach or beige. Kind of matches her skin a little bit. Beige watercolor. That's kind of her color a little. All right, so let's move this to the back by clicking on Position, and we're under Arrange. We could do it two ways. You could click on Arrange, or you could click on Layers, and you can see it and you can move it. Or we could have been on Arrange and we could have moved it to the back. All right, so I want to duplicate this, and I want to put this one in the back as well. That's cute. Okay, now maybe I want to put some gold speckles. All right. Make this wide. Not speckles. You know what? Let's type in a gold leaf. Okay, so there's a leaf. That's cute. Okay. Let me duplicate this and let me put one on this side and let me flip it that way. Pull it in some. All right, so there is a cute little image. And you know what? I think the internal color, maybe we can make that a gold. I like that. I like it as a gold. There we go. Okay, so you could do that as well. So instead of having just a plain image, maybe you could sell your images individually with text on them. So you could choose what you want to do. I just wanted to give you some other options for selling clip art online. Now, let's add another page, and I want to show you how you could actually, for your listing images on Etsy, I want to show you how you could position your images. So let's go back up to this page, right? So this is like where we had our, um, what do we call this? Our logo, right? And let me put the logo, we're going to paste it here. And I'm going to tell you why. This is how you would make um, like a watermark design. So if you don't want people to be able to take your images, you make a watermark design, but you can change the font color to more of a gray like tone because you don't want it to really interrupt the image. You want people to be able to see the image, but you don't want them to be able to benefit if they decide to just steal the image. Okay, so now let's add another page and let me show you how you would another way that you can display your images. Okay, so let's say that you're selling the images just as a bundle, right? You could put all of your images on one cute little page like this and just arrange them, excuse me, however you want to arrange them. All right, let's see, let's put her over there maybe. Five, this is the fifth one, and I think this is the sixth one. All right, so you just kind of arrange them however you want to arrange them, whatever kind of floats your boat. And you could take your watermark again and just paste it here so that people are not able to easily steal your designs. And you could duplicate this and put it on there twice. Okay. You could change the background if you want. Move this in a little bit. If I go over to photos, where's photos? Get out of this. Let me find photos. So I'm in photos and now I'm just going to type maybe a soft background. So if you don't want your background to be completely white, you might want something like that, like a sheer background. Okay, you might want to do it like that. Or if you don't want that, maybe you want something more colorful as a background. You could pull that over there. And then let me show you something else that's cool. I see people doing sometimes, and I really do like it. Let me type in here ribbon. Let's do this. Oh, no, that's not what I want. Let's see. Maybe this. Okay. So you could put something like that on here. If you did that, you might want to make her a little smaller. Maybe pull her over some or make her smaller, whatever you want to do. Okay, and now you could actually type a T on the keyboard with the keyboard. And let's change this font. Let's make it something that's non-script. Let's just say this is Barlow Condensed. Okay, so now we're going to type in here 6-piece, 6 clip art bundle, something like that. Whatever you want to call it, you would do that. And then we're going to move this on top of here. And since this is curved a little bit, we can kind of curve the text somewhat, just a little. There we go. 6 clip art bundle, something like that. All right. So this would be one of your your image listing photos. Okay. Let's make her. Okay. We'll do that. And we'll put her down there. But you get my point, right? So this is very similar to some of the listing photos that you see often on Etsy. And remember, I was telling you earlier when we first started this process, I was telling you that Etsy says that the 3000 by 3000 size will fit on, it'll work for any device, but sometimes it will cut off the edges. So that's why I don't have these all the way to the edge. So if Etsy does cut some off, um, we can still see. And I'm sorry that I'm stuttering, but sometimes when you're creating and talking at the same time, it's a little difficult. So I apologize about that. But anyway, here we go. This is a listing photo. This could be a listing photo as well. Either way, however you want to do it. And this is your PDF download that you would upload into Etsy so that people can obtain their files. All right, my creators, that's it for this video. Thanks for hanging out with me. Listen, if you got any value from this video, I would really appreciate it if you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And please don't forget to join my Facebook group. The link will be in the description. As we always say, the more we create, the less we hate. And I will see you in the next video.